Hello and welcome to episode 31 of the Custom Club with Walkley Wanderers. Now we start on Nick Thacker's attribute page. You can see he scored a goal in the Championship, and that means that he scored in the Vanarama North, the Conference, League 2, League 1 and now the Championship. He's only got one division to go until he completes the whole set, which is phenomenal. It's a great achievement if he can do it. Let's have a look at his reports. Potential to be a good Sky Bet Championship central defender in the future. Well, he's going to have to push to be a good Premier League defender in the future. We're going to try and get him to score in the Premier League. Even though he won't be the first choice centre-back. He's not the first choice centre-back now. Let's get straight into the results, because there's some incredible stuff to be seen here, especially the 5-0 away win against Reading. The stats for this game are truly amazing to see. Earlier on in the season, I'm presuming it was in September, Callum Gribbin got the Young Player of the Month, and he's just been phenomenal for us. If you go down here, he will have grabbed a few more goals. Callum Gribbin there on the 3-0. Callum Gribbin scoring against Swindon. And it is the Rotherham game. The first goal that Callum Gribbin scores in this game, I need to show you before we get on to the 5-0 win against Reading, which, yes, I am going to show you every single goal because that is crazy. But this is one that you really want to see, because Skinner puts it upfield. Lawson, who's is it? I can't remember his first name. Someone said in the comments that I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I've brought him up from the under 21s that centre mid, and he's pulling the strings a bit. Where is he? Jonas, that's it, Jonas. So I was saying Jonas, it's actually Jonas. Jonas Larsson, come from the under-21s, makes the assist for, where is he? Callum Gribbin. Phenomenal work by him. He truly is a class player in this league. And he's just grown with us. Unfortunately, he's still not our player, but he has grown with us. Someone else has asked if there's any chance of us signing Danny Carroll. I doubt it very much. He's going up so well. Let's just ask. Yeah, 18 million. I don't think we can afford that. So the answer is no to that one. So we've got Rotherham the second time in the same month. Last time we beat them 3-0 away, so it really shows our dominance towards them. In the table, we are pushing away from the relegation spots, which is the best thing to see, really. 9 points from Blackburn. And you'd expect that it'd be 12 by the end of this game. We've got a very lucrative away tie against Newcastle in the third round of the FA Cup, which is great. And that's basically it. We go to the 5-0 victory against Reading. And then I want to show you a bit of the squad, because I haven't showed you the squad in depth for a bit, and you might have lost touch of what's actually happening within the club. So I'm just going to point out the potential stars, just basically showing you what's what. So the 5 goals against Reading, isn't that amazing? 5 goals, and Harper scored 4 of them, which is what a signing he's been for £250,000. Just incredible signing. And, actually, the Swedish centre-back scored a goal as well. He's got a goal in this league. First goal is a stunner by Jack Harper. I thought it was offside, to be fair. But flag didn't go up. Shocking goalkeeping there by Frederici to make it 2-0. Let's take a drink. Sam Dryden has left the club. And Lillis, as you've just seen in the net, he's took vice-captaincy. Skinner made it 3-0. And by this time, I'm changing players around, making sure the team's fit and fresh. But Jack Harper had enough time to score 2 more goals in this match, which you will get in a second. Humphreys clears it, and it eventually gets cleared. We play on the break. Lawson, the right back, passes it up to Skinner. Here's Harper one-on-one with the keeper, and it's an easy finish in the end. Federici's having a nightmare time in that Reading net. Then the final goal, Lawson from right back is Danny Carroll. Skinner, Lawson, trying to work it round. It eventually drops to Harper, and bang. Frederici yet again, another mistake. Just one of them days, mate. Well, if you look at the match stats, I mean, there are 21 shots to our 9. We had 7 on target to their 5. They should have done more with their shots, but we were so clinical. We were so clinical. And I think that's it. That's basically covered everything. Oh, no it hasn't. No it hasn't. Thank you. Yes. So, the first ever meeting between the Sheffield 6 teams. It's Walkley Wanderers against Sheffield Wednesday, and we grabbed the win. It was 2-1 in the end. Just an amazing performance, because Sheffield Wednesday was second at this point. Spot on. Couldn't fault the lads at all. And actually, I've just realised something. This stadium expansion isn't going to be complete next season. It's going to be complete the season after. So it's even worse for the club. I mean, expanding it by only 750 seats. I could hand make 750 seats and plant them into the ground much quicker than 2 years. I don't know what this is all about, but it's really stopping us from doing anything like expansive, isn't it? Because we can't really dabble and get some really good players in because we don't have the money to do so. And if we go to the finances, you can see we're losing money, but our projected balance, thankfully, has gone less and less. We were projected to lose, I mean, actually be in the red by about 2 million at the start of the season, but it's got to £22,000. So hopefully, with a bit of luck in the FA Cup and that, we might actually see the end of the season in the black, which would be nice. The only game of this episode, we're playing the Swan formation again because we have Lewis Dodd injured. Someone got a red card for his injury, and I thought, oh my god, he's broke his leg or something. He's actually just torn his calf muscle. So we're out of luck in the midfield department. I mean, look, 4 injuries and 3 of them are midfielders. Although John Mills is on loan at Crewe. So we've brought in Jonas Larsson from the under-21s, and he's doing an all right job. Bless him. So here we go. We won them 3-0 away from home. This should be a doddle. I'm going to take the team talk. This is a rivalry. This is a local rivalry. Obviously not as intense as the Sheffield matches, but local rivalry. Ugh, can't say the word. Local rivalry nonetheless. So it's Lawson to Carroll, trying to send it into the middle, and Skinner puts it wide. Positivity from Walkley at the start. So much possession. Oh my word, yes. And a lot of shots, a lot of chances. This is good. A great start from Walkley as we try and get as far away from this relegation zone as possible. Jonathan Skinner gets the goal, and he's progressing nicely. I need to buy a couple more coaches, methinks. Well, sign more coaches into weekly wages. I'm not too sure about that one. It's a bit dodgy defending there. Jonathan Skinner there to pounce. We're doing alright. This is the first season in the Championship. We've got limited resources, as we all know. Gribbin is an absolute gem, isn't he? What an assist that was, and Jonathan Skinner's got 2 against Rotherham. Perfect. Yeah, it's just, I'm a very proud man at the moment. I'm a very proud manager looking at my baby. Yeah, it's just great. And we're going to end the year on a very good win, to be fair. And we'll actually end the year above Tottenham, which is quite strange. I'm going to have to get onto the premium rat about that one, because he'll be like, the fuck are they in the Championship? And they're struggling in the Championship as well, with Harry Kane and Saido Berahino. Oh, Gribbin nearly scored another. Oh, but Harper, what a finish. Wow, we are dominating, and it's time to make a couple of substitutions and keep this team fresh. Rankin will come on for Kapakawa, and we'll get Mick Walker on for Jack Harper, and Callum Gribbin will come off for Sam Bennett, because Sam Bennett's been wanting to play first team football, and I think this is the time to do it. Look at that. Swindon are beating Tottenham. That is crazy, crazy stuff. Rotherham have only had 3 shots in the game, none on target. Incredible. What a performance by the lads. 30 minutes to go. And, they've hit the post. They actually missed an open net. Oh, dear me. The game is playing so much smoother now that I've installed it on the solid state drive and actually recording the video on my slower hard drive. So that is a big positive. Lawson from right back. Actually, he loves getting forward, that kid. I really do appreciate him at right back. And this is why our vice captain left the club, Sam Dryden, because he suddenly became 3rd in the pecking order, below Lawson and Rankin. So that will be it. We've beaten 3-0 again. Perfect, actually. I couldn't fault the lads, and nothing went wrong. No injuries, just perfect. And I will do it myself. Well done. I've started doing a lot more myself, the team talks, because you get more out of them. And we're fresh for the home game against Wolves as well, which is a positive, because if you remember, they were the first team that we played this season, and it could have gone better. Right, so I promised that I would show you the players and who you really need to be looking out for, because these could be the stars of the series. Anton Waldron is progressing nicely, although we need to get a contract on him as soon as possible. He doesn't want to talk yet, because of the previous breakdown in talks. Nick Thacker, I mean, he could be the star of the show simply because he scores in every single league. But, yet again, it could be just one of them special stories. Jack Harper, he could be sold for an unbelievable amount of money, or he could sign another contract and be a legend at this club. Although, I'm not really thinking about that, because I kind of want to use regens for this series. I still think this kid has got promise. Philip Edmondson Rouse. He's played a couple of games this season, and I do mean a couple of games. Not done that much, but his technicals are all there. He's got speed. He just needs to bulk up a bit. Anton Learn. We've had very recent experience of this guy on the episodes. Reports say that he's already a good he's already a good player for the Sky Bet Championship, potential to be a good Premier Division central defender in the future. Big signing. Mick Walker spent most of last season in the shadows, but I've got to say he hasn't really started that many because of all the strikers that we've got. But this kid always seems to impress when he gets a start. And he always seems to get a goal when he gets a start. Anybody else from the first team? Ashley Price, I think he's going to be a very good winger. Although he's going to be fighting with Edmondson Rouse on that wing. Excuse me. And I think the right back's looking good. That's one of the fairy tales of this season. The right back's been very, very good. And I think that's it from the first team. And I'm just picking out the stars of the show. Obviously, Callum Gribbin is one of the stars, but he's not actually one of our players. He's not been since he's played for us. He's never been one of our players. Joe Williams is signing a new contract, which is good. That'll keep him at the club for another 5 years. 4 years if you not count the actual contract that he's got now. In the under-21s, the person that you really want to be looking at is... I think Mitchell Stevens might have a good future, even though he's 20 years old and he hasn't progressed a lot. One who has progressed is James Gibbs, and he's not had that many injuries, so he could be a very good defensive midfielder, although we'll need to train him up to be a midfielder, a centre mid in the future. Let's have a look at the potential, see who's got the highest potential. Rob Reed, the goalkeeper. I said this in the last episode. Aston Villa were interested in the player. Although Aston Villa are in the same league as us, they are much more of a reputable club. I mean, Villa Park is a massive stadium. Gary Dennison is still hanging on to his potential, but his attributes are going down, and that means that he's not happy with the training. And I'm not going to stop it, because if you want to get into my team, you've got to work hard for it. And the training's hard. The training's difficult. And the under-18s is only one promising player, and that's Josiah Thompson, a centre-back. Very similar to Thacker, I'm going to say. Doesn't have the attacking of Thacker, but I think when he grows, he's probably going to be very, very similar to Thacker. Hopefully he's got a bit more potential than Thacker. Let's have a look. Oh, only decent Skybeck Championship, so he probably is the exact same mould as Thacker. However, although we've had a pretty poor youth system so far, our youth academy our youth category, has been improved from 3 to 1. 1 being the highest. So hopefully, by next episode, which will be the youth intake at the start of March, hopefully we will have brought back at least 1 or 2 players that can be stars in the Premier League. Hopefully we can bring about 4 players in that can actually play in the Premier League in the future, try and keep them players, and then, we'll have a bit more, history. History embedded into the club, because usually we bring in players from the youth academy, we immediately get sold. They immediately get sold. So hopefully these players will give us a bit more of a stronghold. Some players will get sold, of course, because our finances, our facilities are pretty poor. But we need to keep some to keep just momentum building. That's what we need to do. We need to build momentum, doesn't it? And we do eventually need to get into the Premier League, and obviously Premiership players will help us do that, achieve that. And we've actually got 2 already, let's be honest. We've already got Anton Learn and Jack Harper. Them 2 are massive, massive players. Alright, this has been Cut. Say thank you for watching this episode of the Custom Club. If you've enjoyed it, please give the video a like, and I will see you next time.